What is up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing, hitting that like button for the video. It helps the channel out quite a bit. Today I'm going to be talking about actual rates on Betaflight 4.3. If this looks a little bit different than what you're seeing on Betaflight for you, I got another video showing how to flash 4.3. I believe the latest release candidate is 3, and that's what I am on right now. So we'll be talking about actual rates a little bit and showing a couple clips once we get out in the field and fly, so you can see the difference on how my flying has changed coming from Betaflight rates to actual rates. So with actual rates, you'll see that it's a little bit different than what you're used to seeing with Betaflight rates, and I'll go over to that real quick. I'll change the curve, so yeah. So with Betaflight rates on 4.3, you got these 3 categories right here. You got your RC rate, your rate, which is basically like a super rate in the past versions of Betaflight, and then you got your expo. What I found is that actual rates are actually a little bit easier to work with. I was so used to Betaflight and dead set on not changing anything, but I felt like in a lot of scenarios I was just flying a little bit too jittery, and I could have always just dropped my rates down in Betaflight, but I decided to just start fresh and try out actual rates. So you'll see right here, like when you boost up your RC rate, how it exponentially starts to raise your rates up a little bit. Then you got this, which is also doing the same thing. So you got like a lot of fine tuning you got to do to get the rates that you desire, and then obviously you can add in expo if you want. But you can see even without any expo, I still have this curve here for when you reach your max rate. Now when you go back to actual rates, there you go, you can see it's a little bit more linear, but you got your center sensitivity, so that's how sensitive your sticks are towards the center, and then you got your max rate for full stick deflection, and then you can add in the expo that you want. I'm actually not going to save this, but I'll raise it up anyway to show you, since I usually keep some expo on mine. And you can always try out these rates of mine if you want. You can let me know in the comments down below what you think about them. These seem to suit me pretty well right now. And I actually drop my center sensitivity down to 50. The higher you go, the more center sensitivity you're obviously going to have in the center, but if you start feeling too twitchy, I recommend dropping your center sensitivity down. So these are the numbers that have worked for me. I like to have a little bit more yaw sensitivity personally, so that works for me. So I went from about 1100 degrees on Betaflight rates down to 690 as a max rate for actual rates. And slowing my rates down, I feel like have actually made me a lot better at responding to things and controlling my movements, and I didn't think that would have been the case, so that's why I kept everything really fast on Betaflight rates. I felt like if you have really fast rates, you should be able to really respond quickly to scenarios, but that wasn't the case for me. So recommend giving this a shot. I am really happy with it so far. Another thing that I changed was I scaled my throttle, and a lot of people don't think about tuning your throttle. So I scaled mine down to 75% output, so I get a little bit more low-end control on the throttle. And for throttle mid, I dropped that down from 50% to 25%, since I'm mostly at 25% on the throttle when I'm freestyling. And you'll see how that looks in my flying when we take this out there. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Alright, so first off we got the quad with my original Betaflight rates. I'm not going to show you the whole pack, but just to get an idea on how much better I feel like actual rates have made me as a pilot. Although I do gotta admit that I like the snappy rates, which for like these open field scenarios, it's like really nice. I like it like this actually. But as soon as you try to hit some like small gaps, that's where things get a little sketchy. Over here, this little gap. Ooh, watch the geese. See, I feel like I'm just too twitchy to like confidently just go through this. Yep. So like I'll notice it a lot, like with these kind of rates right now, like flying the snappier Betaflight rates. I'm just not steady, and it looks real jerky. And that's something I try to stay away from, especially since I don't use any stabilization. So I want it to look as smooth as possible. All right, now let's take a look at the other quad with the actual rates on it. Armed. So much smoother already. Gives you a little bit more confidence to hit these smaller gaps, which it's not like these are really that small, but ooh. A lot nicer. Oop, there's a stick. Well, I just suck. So as you can see in those clips, I still crashed quite a bit, even with the actual rates. Been a little while, so I'm still getting used to the nice weather and being able to fly again. But I do feel like having actual rates and slowing my rates down, which you can do in Betaflight or actual rates, but I found that the simplicity of having your center sensitivity and your max rate was a whole lot easier to deal with than two separate RC rates to boost or lower your rates. So I'm happy about that. So I definitely recommend giving this a try and seeing what you can do. Just play around with it and let me know in the comments down below on what you think. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and like it. If you got any questions, post those down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.